Hey guys, today I'm going to try and do a quick overview of one of the collaborations we did in office hours this week. This is the flow that we ended up creating. There's always more than one way to build out a solution for a particular ask. And this is just one way that we came up with. It was on the fly and I think it turned out pretty well. It's a pretty simple flow. Basic logic is the business owner comes in, types in a customer's name, gets the information about the job that was done for that customer and the price that they are supposed to pay. And then the AI is going to write an invoice and put that invoice into an email and send that email out to the customer so they can pay for their services. Pretty straightforward. And it took us about an hour and a half in office hours to complete this. But I'm going to try and break this down in a much quicker version for you guys here. So let's get started. So the first thing we did was define the problem or clarify the ask. Denise has a long-service business owner who needs some help sending out invoices. She wants to build something for him that's easy to apply in his current business structure and possibly get him into the CBB system where she can offer additional services in the future that would be of value to him. We decided that one simple option that he could do is when he takes on a job for a customer, he could put all of the customer's information into a Google Sheet, and if he had all of that information in a Google Sheet, we could create a flow that would basically run a task to grab the information, write an email with an invoice in it, and send that email to the customer. And all that he would have to do is type in the customer's name and it would pull all of that data and start that process. And it would automatically take care of it. So the first thing we decided was we need to build a Google Sheet so that he can put the information in. So we went to Google Sheets and created a simple sheet that we could have a few columns in there. Their ID column is a good idea to put in there so that anything that happens within CBB that's attached to that user, you could always use the user ID to manipulate or manage your data. We also put in date of service, customer name, email account, a good phone number, invoice price, and job description. The first thing that we did was decide if this was going to be a flow or a tool that was built on an existing account and the link was just going to be sent to this business owner to use this tool, or is this going to be on his own account? And so we decided that it is going to go on its own account because the goal is to get him up leveled to some other services eventually. So we went and created a new account and we just called it InvoiceBot. Now, once we created the sheet, we needed to go make custom fields for all of these because since we're going to be pulling information from this sheet, I want every one of these column headings to be a custom field. That way I can use those custom fields to write that email. So the next thing we did was go create custom fields for all of these headings. So we headed over to the custom fields, added all of these headings, and as you'll see, they are all in here now. And so we can go to the next step, which was actually making sure we have Google Sheets integrated into this account. So we went over to integrations, Google Sheets, connect, and now we have to get that link from that sheet that we have. Copy the link. Go back over, hook up our account, and that's how easy it is. Go back in and add that sheet that we just made. Put the link in here, and we'll name it And then once that is there, we're going to go build our flow. So let's go to flows. Add a new flow. And then the first thing we want in the flow is a Google Sheet action. And in that Google Sheet, we're going to get a row, select the sheet and the worksheet. And then the filter we're going to use is the customer name, because that's what the owner will, and we'll say it contains, in case he spells it wrong or whatever. And then we'll map out these custom fields to the headings. All right, save that. And now that we have that mapped out, now we will create an OpenAI block that creates that invoice. So we'll go in here, and now what we realized, we need to have this on advanced and put this on 0 because we ran out of tokens on the email because we had a quite lengthy HTML code in there. So we're going to change that to advanced so we can not be restricted on tokens. And then in the assistant information prompt, we're going to put in what we want the invoice to look like. And we decided to go over to ChatGPT and ask it to write some HTML code for us to put into the email that would have all of our information in it, a graphic, a pay button, all of those things. So everything that we wanted, we went over to ChatGPT, and I've already done this. I'm just going to walk through this with you. It says I need to create an HTML code for me that I'm going to create an invoice email for my landscaping business.
And I want to send it to a client. So in this message, I want a stylish formatted email that has following custom fields populated into placeholders with the customer's name, date of service, location of service, description of service, and the price. I also want a short paragraph on the conditions of payment that's expected to be paid within the next 15 days, and they can make a payment easily here by clicking the button below, and have a gradient colored Pay Now button with links to my payment processor, which I will put in the link in the placeholder in the code. End the email with a nice message about our appreciation for your business, and the business name, email, and phone number in the signature. Also include a section at the bottom if they require other methods of payment. Please don't hesitate to contact us, and put the business phone number and email addresses as options for
contact me. Once I put that in, ChatGPT did a really nice job of creating some HTML for me. And you see it put in the placeholder, the custom fields that I wanted. And so I copied this HTML code. Once you get that the way that you like it, you're going to go back over to your flow, and you're going to paste that in here. Put in, you're a helpful assistant for ABC Lawn Company. Your job is to generate a beautiful HTML based on the following format. And I will put in that code, copy it. And it has all of the parameters in there. And then on the user message, it's not going to be the last input. It's going to be generate an email with the following cuffs in the HTML placeholders. And then you're going to go choose those cuffs because that's the information that's going to be put into the email. And we'll put customer's name. And job description. And price. And then we are going to create a new custom field. I've already done that, and we're going to call it HTML invoice email. And now we have the get row from Google Sheets. And we'll generate invoice email. All right. Then we're going to do an email, send the email, and of course this would need to be changed. So when you edit this, it's going to be from your business email. It will already be in here if you've hooked up your email account, which you need to do on the account. And then instead of email here, we're going to put email account, because that's the custom field that is going to have the person's actual email in it. And then you would put a subject in here, your current invoice, and I don't need a pre-header. You're going to put a headline in here. We'll just put something funny. And if you wanted to put an image in there, you could. I'm not going to put anything in there, so I'm going to X that out, because you can't have anything in this email that's not populated, or it won't let you publish. And what's going to go in here is the custom field that we saved everything to on this node. So remember, that was the HTML invoice email. Now, if I just put that HTML cuff in there, what's going to happen is when this email gets sent, the email is going to come out with all of that code as text in the email. It's not going to come out looking something like this, which is what we want. We want the HTML to have some kind of a design to it, like this. So putting it in like this isn't going to accomplish that. What we have to do is come down here to add content and add a code box. And in that code box, we're going to delete this text box. In the code box, that's where we're going to put our cuff. So when that code comes in there, it's going to be displayed properly. And now we'll move that up, and we'll get rid of the button, which again, we could just link the button to our payment processor if we wanted to, and keep it. But we're just going to delete this, keep it simple, put the HTML in the code box, and we're going to publish it. Now, if we preview this, nothing's really going to happen. One thing that we need here for the business owner, add a new message box, and this one's going to be a get user data. Let's say type the customer name. This is what the business owner is going to do, and we're going to save that to text customer name. We already have that custom field, and we won't skip that. We'll change that to starting step. So now when the business owner comes in, he types in the customer name, it's going to go search the Google Sheet for that customer and all the information in that row, and it's going to give that information to the OpenAI, who's going to write an HTML email, and then it's going to send the email with that information. But we can't preview an email in here. So what I'm going to do is, for testing purposes, so you can see what comes out of here, I'm going to put a message box here. And I'm going to put that HTML cuff so that we can see when we test it whether or not it's working properly. So now we're going to go over to preview that. Type in the customer name. It should be getting that row with Kim Jones on it, creating an email, and then we're going to see the HTML come up in here. You see the HTML is in here. Now this we don't want, so we would have to do another OpenAI prompt, do a little prompt chaining here to clean up this and not have that in there. You see it has a header, the body, hi Kim, thank you for choosing care for your property. But you could take this HTML that it put out, and if you wanted to see how it looked, You could copy all of that HTML, put it into a landing page, code. See, now again, we're in the code box. Publish that. And preview it. And this is what it should look like in the email, or something close to this. But once you get it the way you want, then you can go ahead and remove this because you know it's working. It is getting the information, and you connect it to the mail. I'm going to delete that. And then publish it. And now when I do it, instead of giving me that HTML, it should send an email. Email is set up on the account. When you run this now, it's going to send the email. And it'll look something like this. There's the email. There's the HTML formatting. It's not exactly what I want, but I can clean that up. See, this is what I'm talking about, that random markup that's in there. You would want to clean that up in a AI prompt. But that is the basic flow. And we'll go ahead and name these. Customer name and get row from Google Sheets and generate an invoice email and then send the email and publish that. And so now this link here is going to open up a web chat. You could just give this link to the business owner, and he come in and put that URL in there or bookmark that URL. And every day he could come in here and run this. It'll come up, say type customer name, then the name, and it will send that email. Now, since this is for the business owner and he can't really tell what was done here, we could go back to the flow and add a confirmation step sent and put a message here that says invoice was sent. And we'll call that email was sent confirmation. And publish it. And now when we go back over and refresh that web link, it's going to ask again for a name. I could put another name in if I wanted. I'm going to go ahead and put the same one because I know there's data in there. And then it's going to grab that information on the Google Sheet. It's going to send it over to the OpenAI and have it write the email. It's going to send the email. And then it should come back with a confirmation message in this chat for the business owner. There it is. Email invoice was sent. Now, if the business owner wanted to go one step further, instead of just giving them this link that they could put in and use every day, you could also create an actual web chat and customize it. You would go over to web chat, add a new web chat, sending invoices, emails, app. And you could go in here and set that flow as the welcome message. If they did have a website and you wanted to put it on their website, you could put it on there. You can go in here and customize it, like the brand color, something a little more green, and I'll leave all this CSS the same and copy it and go in here, paste the CSS, save it, and now I can take that link and go over here and put it in. And when they click on that link, it's going to be a more customized looking chatbot. If it's on a phone, it really does look like an app. And go in here again, type it in. It's going to get the information, gather that up, send an email out, and then it's going to give him a confirmation. And he can just keep doing that with every customer. And there he is notified that the email was sent. And there you have it. That's the flow. If you want the template for that, just let us know. We've got it over in the resource library in the office hours. Hopefully we're going to have one of these every week. We're going to try and build out something in one of the 3 hours every week now. So if you have something you want built, come join us. If you have something you built and you want to share it, come and join us. And if you meet neither of those criteria, still come and join us. I hope this was helpful. And as always, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.